When you let your eyes wander, you wonder. You start to doubt yourself, your capabilities, what you're here to do, and who you're here to be. Your habit of comparison is killing your leadership, and it needs to stop. In this episode, you'll learn the real reason why you struggle in finding your voice, how comparison is impacting your presence, and 3 steps to help you keep your eyes in your own lane so you can uncover your truth, activate your voice, and lead your purpose your way. If you are a purpose-driven leader who is ready to communicate your message with absolute conviction so you can write your book, launch your podcast, or speak on stages across the world, I'm inviting you to join me at the Activation Retreat this September. This is an intimate and profoundly transformational 4-day experience for leaders that will help you embody your mission, deepen your spiritual practice, and activate your voice and your gifts. There are only 12 seats total, a few of which have already been claimed. So if this calls to you, if you've been seeking a way to work with me, if you are a purpose-driven leader with experience and you want to deepen your inner work, join me for this retreat. Apply today at rubyfremont.com/activation-retreat. The links will be in the show notes, and you'll see Activation Retreat at the top of the webpage. Now, whether you're new to this podcast or you're a loyal podcast listener, please make sure you take a moment to download a few episodes and drop a rating and review on iTunes. Now, it is time to start learning more about comparison and all the ways in which it's killing your leadership. Hey, thought leaders, I am back with another edition of Thursday's Thought, and today I want to talk about something that is killing your leadership, and that's your habit of comparison. And the truth is, we live in a world that makes it far too easy for us to compare. We live in a digital era where we have the ability at our fingertips to check in on what other people are doing, to see what other leaders are creating, to see what other people are doing, to look into other people's lives all the fucking time. We have this tool, and quite frankly, we're abusing it. We're abusing this tool to distract us from what it is that we're really here to do. And so consider this. Consider that scrolling is actually a habit. It's not something that you do when you're bored. I mean, think about it. You scroll while you're waiting in line at the store. You scroll while you're sitting at a restaurant with friends. You scroll while you're in bed. You scroll while you're at your desk trying to get work done. This scrolling is fueling comparisonitis, and comparisonitis is killing your leadership. And here's why. And when we compare ourselves to others, when you are comparing yourself to other leaders who are out there, you're only making yourself feel worse. I mean, have you ever compared yourself to others and actually felt good about it? Even if it's in a judgy way, where you judge someone else, you're comparing yourself to them and you're like, well, I'm better than them. You don't actually feel good about that. The comparison leaves a bad taste in our mouth, and it impacts the way in which you show up because it impacts your presence. When you start to let your eyes wander, you start to wonder things like, will I ever achieve success like them? Maybe you're looking at these other leaders that you look to for ideas or for inspiration, but it actually makes you start feeling shitty about yourself. Will I ever achieve success like them? Will I ever speak on stages like they are? Will I ever write books like they do? Should I be doing it this way? Should I be speaking like they are? Oh, look, they're getting a lot of traction on this post. Should I be showing up in this way? I mean, the shitstorm of thoughts that comes up when we start to compare ourselves with others is insane. And if you've been there, which I'm sure you have, you understand that it comes in heavy and it often spirals out of control like a hurricane. And before you know it, you've been scrolling for 90 minutes. when you're supposed to be working on your videos or your programs or your content or whatever the fuck else you have on your to-do list. It's so easy to fall into these habits because, yes, we're distracted. We live in a society, in a time and era when it's easy to be distracted because we have digital technology at our fingertips. And you have to take personal responsibility for creating those distractions. You have to take personal responsibility for your habit of comparison. And as you take personal responsibility, you need to understand that you also have the power to do different, to show up differently, to squash your habit of comparison. Because when it comes to your leadership, your habit of comparison is killing your role as a leader. It's creating a separation between you and your truth. It's detaching you from your voice and your tone and what you're truly here to say, because it's cluttering your mind with other people's ideas and other people's voices and other people's presence and other people's brands. And that's creating a major disconnect between you and your gifts and what you're here to do. You see, what you have to understand is your purpose was gifted to you. Your purpose is yours, which is why every single experience that you've lived through in your life has led you to this point. You know, your experiences are what help you uncover your purpose, which is why your purpose is unique to you, which is why only you have the power to fulfill your purpose, which means you've got to fulfill it the way in which only you can. Not me, not someone other leader that you see online, not that other leader with millions of followers. No, you have to fulfill your purpose as only you can. And that takes a deep understanding of your gifts. That takes a deep understanding of who you are. That takes a deep conviction of what you're here to do and what you have to offer. And you can only achieve these things by keeping your eyes in your own lane, by focusing on your journey, by focusing on your purpose, and not letting yourself get distracted by what other people are doing. You literally have to put the blinders on to control this habit of comparison, because comparison is killing your leadership. The more you compare yourself to others, the more you start to pick up things that they're doing and you adopt them as your own. And I've seen this, trust me, I've seen this even in my audience. And maybe you're guilty of this if you're in my audience, but I've seen this even within my audience. I've seen this with people who come to attend my events, and all of a sudden they're showing up in a way that doesn't actually feel aligned with them, but actually feels more like they're trying to mimic me. And that creates a major, major separation between them and their gifts. This is why I do the work that I do. This is why I'm so passionate about helping leaders find their truth and step into that truth with absolute conviction. Because your purpose needs you to be you. Your purpose needs you to own who you fucking are. And the more that you compare yourself to other leaders, the less likely you're going to even understand who you be. So I want to offer you 3 steps to keep your eyes in your own lane. Okay. And this is especially for those of you who feel like, yeah, like I'm stuck in this habit of scrolling. I'm comparing myself to other people. I feel crippled by self-doubt. Like, this is for you. And these are the exact same tips that I give to every single one of my clients. I've even run these tips in a group program where we all go through it together. These tips work. I have seen this in dozens of my clients, where after they follow these tips, they actually start to show up in a more powerful way, in a way that's actually aligned with their truth, in a way that has them stepping into a state of conviction. Okay, so if you do this and you commit to this, you will also tap into your truth, find your voice, activate your gifts, and step into that state of conviction. Okay, so the first step is to go on a 7-day minimum social media detox. Okay, what this means is you do not go on social media for 7 days. Okay, so if you have to delete your apps temporarily, delete your apps. If you have to put your apps on like another screen on your iPhone, do that. Whatever you have to do to prevent looking at your social media. Now, for those of you who are in programs that use Facebook groups, you can do that, but go into the group and out of the group. Just keep that link available. Don't scroll on Facebook. Don't do anything else. But this is actually going to work best if you do a full 7-day social media detox and don't go on social media at all. Okay. Trust me, your business will survive. People aren't going to forget about who you are. You're going to live through FOMO, and your impact will still be felt. In fact, after you do this, your impact will be amplified. I have done social media detoxes for the last 5 years, and I look forward to them. It's always, yeah, I'll admit, you always feel like a little bit of FOMO when you're about to go into this. And when you're in it, it's like you can tap back into life. You can tap back into yourself. You can tap back into your presence, because all of a sudden you've removed the noise. You've decluttered. You've removed the scrolling, and you'll start to uncover your true voice. During this 7-day social media detox, you are going to do 2 things. You are going to sit in silence for a minimum of 10 minutes a day. Okay, 10 minutes minimum, sit in silence, do breath work, meditate, whatever you need to do, but silence, absolute silence. Do not do guided meditations, just do silence. And then you're going to journal. And when I say journal, for those of you who are overly analytical or are Virgos like me, who get caught in our head about, I don't know what to journal. I'm just going to make it really easy for you. This is something that my husband does. Another friend of mine, Ashley, always talks about this. You set the timer for another 10 minutes and just start writing. Just start writing. And even if you're writing, I don't know what to write 1,000 times, cool. But just start writing. Another thing you can do for the journal, especially for this social media detox time period, is to, at the top of the page, before you set the timer to start writing, you can write a question like, what am I here to say? That could be a prompt. Another journaling prompt is, who am I here to be? Another journaling prompt is, how do I want my presence to be felt? Okay, so I've given you 3 journaling prompts. You can use those, you can recycle those, but do the 7-day social media detox, sit in silence every day for 10 minutes, and journal every day for 10 minutes. Okay, and again, your business is going to survive. Your impact will still be felt. The FOMO will go away. I promise you. The purpose of the 7-day social media detox is to create that connection back with yourself, which is why the meditation and the journaling goes with this. Okay. It's not separate. The journaling helps you tap back into your voice. I can't tell you how many times I've done this exercise, and I've written some of my best posts that I share online from it, because it allows me to tap back into my truth and not what other people are saying online. So do the 7-day social media detox. Second, when you come out of the social media detox, you're going to go on an unfollowing spree. This is like one of the most cleansing things you could do to tidy up and declutter your digital and mental space. Okay, so you're going to unfollow anyone who you compare yourself to. So I'm not just talking about you. Well, let me break it down. First, you're going to unfollow anyone that you compare yourself to. So this could be like incredible leaders that you look up to. Hell, it could be me. Okay, I'm telling you to unfollow me. If you find yourself obsessing over my content and comparing yourself to me and feeling like shit after you read my posts, then unfollow me, please. Okay, just do it. And know that you can always go back and follow people when you're in a better headspace. But for now, you're going to go on the unfollowing spree. You're going to unfollow anyone that you compare yourself to. You're going to unfollow anyone who leaves a bad taste in your mouth after you read their shit, whether it's your own shit that gets triggered because of it, or their shit is just not aligned with you. You're going to unfollow those people too. So go on the unfollowing spree, unfollow everyone. And on Facebook, they make it really easy because you can like unfollow and not unfriend people. That's an option. So you don't have to unfriend people on Facebook. Just unfollow them, unfriend them if you don't want to be friends with them though. Like, why are you keeping them in your space? And then like on IG or Twitter, like unfollow. And then the third thing you're going to do is to set strict boundaries with your social media time and only use social media with intention. So how does this look in action? If you need to go on Facebook to share a post, then before you open your Facebook tab or your Facebook app on your phone, you tell yourself, I'm going on Facebook to write this post, and then I'm going to get out. Legit, this is what I had to do to really stop feeling this habit of scrolling and comparisonitis that I had. And it fucking works. I tell you, it works. My clients all do this. It's not crazy. You actually say the intention out loud to yourself. If you're going on Facebook to say, you want to check in on some of your groups, cool. I'm going on Facebook to check in on my groups, and then I'm out. Or I'm going on Instagram to check in on one of my posts and engage with the replies on this specific post, and then I'm out. So you create these boundaries with you create these intentions around your social media. And then the boundaries that I talked about with your social media time is how many times a day you're going to check your social media and when. See, because social media is at our fingertips, it's really easy to just scroll anytime. Like I said earlier, you're scrolling while you're waiting in line, scrolling while you're sitting at your desk, scrolling in bed, scrolling while you're around people. Like, we just scroll. It's easy. It's at our fingertips. So you want to create boundaries with your time. I'm going to go on social media 3 times a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening. Set these boundaries with yourself. And it doesn't have to look like that. Maybe you only want to go once a day. But set these boundaries with yourself, because you're not missing out on anything. And it's the FOMO that hits hard when we're doing this. You're not missing out on anything at all. You're actually creating more space for you to be you. You're creating more space for you to tap into your truth. I mean, have you ever wondered why so many people online sound the fucking same? Right? So many leaders sound the fucking same. And then there are some leaders who are saying the same things, but in a different way, in a way that only they can say it. There's a fucking difference between that. When we can all talk about, for example, the law of attraction. And you'll find, a lot of people talk about it the same way. And then there are other people who talk about it and there's a different tone to it. There's a different edge to it. There's a different flavor to it. That's because they're really, truly spitting it out as their truth and as what they believe, their interpretation. And that's what you want to do as a leader. You're not here to follow the masses. You're not here to be another sheep. You're here to fucking lead. You're here to carve your own path and blaze a trail for other people. You're here to encourage other people to step into their truth. And that can only happen when you step into your truth. So the 3 steps to keeping your eyes in your own lane. Number 1, go on a 7-day social media detox and make sure that you're sitting in silence for 10 minutes a day and journaling for 10 minutes a day, every day of the 7-day social media detox. Number 2, when you get back from your detox, unfollow anyone who you compare yourself to or anyone whose content triggers the shit out of you. And then number 3 is you're going to set strict boundaries with your social media time and only use social media with intention. Okay? You got to remember, comparison is killing your leadership. It's detaching you from your truth. It's creating a separation between you and what you know you're here to do, because it influences you to do things in a different way. When you're comparing yourself to other people, you're looking at their content, you're seeing how they're showing up, you're feeling their presence, and you start to go into a cycle of, should I be doing this? Would it be better if I did this? How I want to be like them. It creates a detachment from who you're truly here to be. And like I said, your purpose needs you to be you. Your purpose needs you to lead as only you can lead. Your purpose needs you to go after it as only you can. And that starts by you owning your fucking voice, owning your fucking gifts, and standing in conviction of your purpose. So, with that being said, I want you to try these tips out, and I really want to hear back from you. I really want you to take me on this challenge to do this. Okay, so you're going to do this for 7 days. You're going to go on the unfollowing spree. You're going to set the boundaries, and then you're going to report back to me. You're going to send me a DM on Instagram or on Twitter. My handles are at I am Ruby, and you're going to DM me, and you're going to let me know how it went. Okay, you're going to let me know about your experience with this, what shifted, what insights you gained. I want to hear from you. And if you want to take it a step further, and you're a purpose-driven leader with experience, you've been going at this for some time, but you're still finding that you're falling victim to your habit of comparison, and you finally reach that place where you're just really fucking ready to step into a state of conviction, to communicate your message with absolute clarity so you can do all the things that you know you're here to do, like speak on stages, launch your podcast, write your book. I invite you to join me at the Activation Retreat. This is an intimate and profoundly transformational 4-day retreat for leaders that's going to help you embody your mission, deepen your spiritual practice, and activate your voice and your gifts. Now, I only have 12 seats total, a few of which have already been secured. So if this calls to you in any way, get your application into me ASAP. Okay, get your application in rubyfremon.com/activation-retreat. The link will also be in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining me for another edition of Thursday's Thought on Today's Thought Leader, where I'm challenging you to rise up, speak up, and create a movement. Like I said, check in with me after you've done the social media detox. And if you want to go on a really fucking transformational, awesome, intimate retreat with me in the forest, apply for the Activation Retreat today. If you have yet to do so, I would so appreciate a rating and review on iTunes, and make sure you continue to download episodes. I air them twice a week, just in case you didn't know. If you have anything else that you want to share with me, any questions, or you just want to say what's up, reach out to me on social media at I am Ruby, and check back on Monday for a brand new episode of Today's Thought Leader.